Good afternoon, Milwaukee. Welcome to the Ed Tribute Show of our All-Stars. I need to thank a couple sponsors. So we're going to thank Tourism Ireland, Aer Lingus, and Ed's favorite food was ice cream. So we're going to thank Cedar Crest Ice Cream, because you know we love our ice cream. And then we're also going to thank Jill's Frozen Custard. Now let me introduce Melissa Ward to introduce the next show.
Give him hell, Melissa.
Hello, and welcome to the 40th Milwaukee Irish Fest.
Woo!
I am delighted to be here today to introduce this special show for a very special person, Ed Ward. Ed, who passed away in 2019, was a husband, a father, a grandfather, a brother, an uncle, a friend, a mentor to many, and the founder of our beloved festival. It all began in the summer of 1980 when someone told Ed that there should be an Irish celebration here in Milwaukee. And you know what he said? Well, there should. So several months and several meetings later, the festival was born through the creation of a nonprofit organization which is known today as Celtic MKE. Irish Fest launched officially in August of 1981 and has since grown to become one of the largest Irish music festivals in the world.
Woo!
But Ed's legacy and influence stretched far beyond the festival. He played a role in connecting with and supporting other Irish festivals across the country, as well as with Irish musicians across the world. He fostered relationships in America, Ireland, Canada, and Scotland to help elevate Celtic culture, not only in Milwaukee, but across the globe. He was a trailblazer whose ideas, advice, guidance, and mentorship left an imprint on the Irish American community. Today, we celebrate the life of a man who enriched so many lives and who is an infinite source of laughs and inspiration. We are joined this afternoon by a group of musicians that will be playing the music Ed loved to hear. So welcome to the All-Star Musical Tribute Show to our founder, Ed Ward.
Woo!
All right, we're gonna kick things off with a short video followed by a performance with Mick Moloney and Jimmy Keane. So at this time, please direct your attention to the video screen over here for a little short clip. Thank you, and again, welcome.
Good evening and welcome to Miller Time.
I was down here at Festa Italiana, and I just mentioned to a few of my friends that I think the time was right for the Irish to do this. And somebody said, well, why don't you do it? I said, well, I will. And so we got started. We went to the Shamrock Club of Wisconsin, asked them for their support, and Neville Dunn, American Legion Post 489, to ask them for their support. And they gave it and asked for a little more details, and that's when the planning started. And that was about 13 months ago, and sitting here today, at 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon, the 23rd, with about 40,000 people here and about 40,000 more coming. It's great.
I laid out a plan for the festival because I'm a big fan of Walt Disney, and I always have been. And Walt always believed that when you entertain people, you should always educate them also, but don't let them know that. And so when I laid out the plan for how we would do this, we had music, but we also had a really strong cultural component, lots of children's activities, and we weren't going to focus just on the music of Ireland. We wanted to also embrace the history, the culture, the music, and dance of Irish America.
Well, I'm Mick Moloney. This is Jimmy Keane. And we are holders of a kind of an unofficial award. We are the Irish Fest Ultimate Geezers. We were here the very first year. And Jimmy wasn't officially here, but it's very hard to keep piano accordion players in their place. So he snuck up. So he was here, and we were here with a group called the Green Fields of America. And our dancer was Michael Flatley. I often wonder what happened to him. But in fact, I exceed the Geezer Award by 1 year, because 1 year before the first festival, I got a call from the National Endowment for the Arts. I was living in Philadelphia, been on a few panels, and I got a call from a wonderful woman called Bess Lomax Hawes, the sister of Alan Lomax. You might have heard, the famous collector. And she said, Mick, we've just had a request for funding from this organization that we've never heard of. And it's called the Irish Fest Foundation in Milwaukee. She says, I wasn't aware there was anything Irish in Milwaukee. And she said, what we need to do is send somebody out to talk to the organizers and see what they're all about. And she said, would you go out to Milwaukee? And I said, of course I would. I'd never been to Milwaukee before. I'd been to Chicago a few times, but never came up the road. And in 1980, I arrived here in August, a year before the first festival. And a very genial man met me at the airport and made me feel instantly welcome, and that was Ed Ward. And he took me to the Park East Hotel, and it was late in the evening. He said, now, I'm going to take you tomorrow to these Irish Fest grounds that are to be in the future. It's an institution called Summerfest. He said, I think you'll be impressed. So he picked me up in the early afternoon and brought me out here, and it was in the middle of an Italian fest. And we walked around, and all the stages, many of you might remember, were endowed by the beer companies. There was the Schlitz stage, the Old Style stage, the Pabst Blue Ribbon stage, God bless us all, and the Miller stage here. And now the names have changed, and the whole place has, of course, expanded. And I was with Ed walking around for a couple of hours, and he said, what do you think? And there were a lot of very good rock bands here, and I said, Ed, I don't know if I should say this, I said, but you know, there are a lot of nice musicians here, but the only thing Italian about this festival is the pizza. And I said, that's probably not even Italian either. I hope the members of the Anti-Italian Defamation League are not here now to come after me. But that was back then anyway. I don't know what's going on in the festival there. And Ed said, well, he said, we want this festival to be inclusive of all the things that are Irish, are Irish American. And he said, we know about Tin Pan Alley, we know about When Irish Eyes Are Smiling, Tura Lura Lura. We have Irish tenors in the John McCormack mode. We have Dennis Day, that's earmarked to come here. We have Carmel Quinn. They're very popular entertainers. We know about the Irish dancing. It's just starting to take root here. But we don't know anything about the traditional music, and we'd like to find out. And I knew immediately I was in the presence of a very special human being. There was something, a kind of a humility and an urge to learn that's very rare. Usually when people are in charge of things, they kind of get a bit uppity, and there was nothing at all about Ed Ward that suggested that. And I was very honored to be here the first 5 years of the festival, bringing groups like the Green Fields of America here, and then they were followed with the wonderful programming committee and an unprecedented number of volunteers. I've never seen anything like it. 3,000 volunteers, I believe, was the last figure. And I knew I was in the presence of something really rare and special, and that this extraordinary man was driving the whole thing. Melissa mentioned that the effects of Irish Fest have spread just about everywhere there are Irish communities in America and festive occasions. So many people who run festivals came here to be inspired, and Ed set in motion a network of festival organizers that meet regularly and advise one another. It could be marketing, it could be programming, it could be logistics. You know, running a festival like this, you can just imagine, I can't even imagine all the things that are involved. I was very honored to become friends with Ed over the year. years, and it was in Philadelphia. We'd visit each other during non-festival times. He was an extraordinary visionary. I well remember when groups like Copper Kelly, the great Scottish group, came here, and Donald Shaw was the bass player. And he was inspired by this festival to go to the people who run the city of Glasgow, and in the month of January suggest that those hotel rooms could be filled with art. And now Celtic Connections in Glasgow is the biggest Celtic festival in the world, taking its place beside Irish Fest, all due to the initial inspiration of Ed Ward. And I remember standing just about out there, just behind where most of you are sitting, with a woman, and she said, God, she said, wouldn't it be great to take what's happening here on the high seas and have a cruise? And I said, God, there's nothing wrong with that. And now there are cruises all over the place, inspired by Milwaukee Irish Fest. Joni Madden runs a great Irish cruises, and I'm sure a lot of you know about that. It's like you drop a stone in the middle of a pond and the ripples go out. And that's what this festival has created. And the vision of this wonderful man that became such a dear friend of mine inspired it all. We met Ed, myself, and Jimmy. Ed called me up and said, "Look," he said, "I've had a long medical battle. I knew that." And he said, "I'm nearing the end of the journey," and I said right away, I said, "Is it okay if I come out and meet you?" And he said, "Sure." And Liz Carroll, who was also in the first year, she sends her best wishes. She can't be here this year. And she just sent me a message about 20 minutes ago to say hello to everyone on her behalf. And Jimmy and myself, we went up. And you know, I don't need to tell any of you, we've all had our losses and we continue to have them, how hard it is to say goodbye to somebody who's close to you. It's one of the hardest things, I suppose, in life itself. And I know my own parents, I didn't know how to say. You just don't know. And Ed gave us permission to say goodbye. And that's a very rare thing, that somebody will give you that permission to actually say, look, it's been wonderful, goodbye. And we were profoundly moved by that. And myself and Liz and Jimmy went down the road to Chicago, and we didn't talk for a long time after that. We sang a song from that afternoon called Muldoon the Solid Man, a great composition of Ned Harrigan in New York. And he loved that song, and he chuckled away. And Jimmy came up with the great idea that we rewrite Muldoon the Solid Man to call it Ed Ward the Solid Man. And each chorus ends with, "There goes Ed Ward, he's a solid man." So anyway, before I do that, I'll just talk about that. I associate Ed with the word inclusive. Everything is here in Irish Fest. I'm looking at the plot of the festival grounds. Irish language, the Gaeltacht, the Celtic organisations, the Literary Corner, the Theatre Hedge School, Cultural Pavilion, Genealogy. It's all here. There is no festival ever like this festival in terms of its inclusiveness. And I think that's the word that I will walk away with when I think of Ed. The opposite is exclusive, when people are left out. We're all made welcome here. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how rich you are, it doesn't matter how young or old you are, everyone has always been welcome around Ed Ward and Irish Fest. So, Ed Ward, the solid man. Give me the key of C. He was a man of great influence and educated to a law degree. He came when small to Milwaukee town with his brother Charlie, a Storcree. On the city road he was situated in a humble home with his father John, till by perseverance he elevated, and he went to the front like a solid man. So come with me and he will treat you decent. He'll sit you down and he will fill your can. And along the street, all the friends he meets say, "There goes Ed Ward, he's a solid man." At every fest and the late night scattering, he always was the most gracious host, as conspicuous as the great Lord Mayor boys To every artist he'd lead a toast. And when called upon for to convene the gathering, with no regard for clique or clan, he'd address the crowd with great elocution, because you see he was a solid man. So come with me and he will treat you decent. He'll sit you down and he will fill your can. And along the street, all the friends he meet say, there goes Edward, he's a solid man. He began the fest and the grand ward archives, and everybody is welcome there to enjoy their summer's recreation and take the enchanting Wauwatosa air. He's known in Oshkosh, he's known in Green Bay, and he's welcomed hearty at every hand. And come what may, on St. Patrick's Day, he would march away like a solid man. So come with me and he will treat you decent. He'll sit you down and he will fill your can. And along the street, all the friends he meets say, there goes Edward, he's a solid man.
Everybody. Thank you, Ed. Love you, bye.
All right, up next we have Tallymoore.
Okay, well, we are Tallymoore. Thank you. So we're going to do a song that I think was my dad's favorite that we played. I know it's my mom's favorite. It's a Doogie McLean song, and if you know the words, we encourage you to sing along. And I apologize in advance if I choke up. It's very possible that it might happen, but I will try my best. Here we go. This is called Caledonia. Well, I don't know if you can see the changes that have come over me. Oh, these last few days I've been afraid that I might drift away. I've been telling old stories and singing songs that make me think about where I came from, and that's the reason why I seem so far away today. Oh, let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Oh, Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Well, now I've moved on and I've kept on moving. I've proved the points that I needed proving. I've lost the friends that I needed losing, found others on the way. And I've kissed the girls and I've left them crying. Stolen dreams, yes, there's no denying. I've traveled hard, sometimes with conscious flying, somewhere with the wind. Oh, let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. If I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. So let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Oh, Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Now I'm sitting here beside the fire, the empty room and the forest choir. The flames have cooled, don't get any higher. They've withered and they've gone. But now I'm steady thinking and my way is clear, and I will know what I'll do tomorrow. When hands have shaken and the kisses float, well then I'll disappear. Oh, let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. Home, yes, I'm going home. Home, yes, I'm going home. Home, Caledonia. Thank you so much. Okay, we've got a little surprise for you all. We're gonna bring out some of the old members of Blarney. Anybody remember Blarney? Here they are. Come on out stage, guys. So here we have John Maher, Bernie McCartan, Kevin Stapleton, and Dennis Murphy. And they're gonna sing a song with us. This is a Blarney song. This is one that we found on their sea shanty album titled I'm Alone. They're gonna sing it with us here. Here we go. We're running down the coast with the Yankee on our tail, loaded down with rum, blowing every yard of sail. St. Pierre and Miquelon, we have your liquid gold in the sunny Gulf of Mexico with 1,000 bottles sold. Here's the chorus, come on! And the Vixies, they were rolling, we loaded down with rum. With the schooner I'm Alone, out of Lunenburg we come. We'll sail your fastest gunboat, so catch us if you can. With the devil in our corner, running rum to Louisiana. We were good, hard-working fishermen when prohibition came. To the schooner I'm Alone, we earned our bit of fame. We threw away our fishing gear with the money rolling in. America was thirsty, getting tired of bathtub gin. Kept the Coast Guard busy, they never had a chance to catch us with our cargo. We showed them how to dance. But in the international waters, 2,000 miles from home, two cutters finally got us and they sank the I'm Alone. And the Vixies, they were rolling, we loaded down with rum. With the schooner I'm Alone, out of Lunenburg we'd come. We'll sail your fastest gunboat, so catch us if you can. With the devil in our corner, running rum to Louisiana. All right, Milwaukee Irish Fest, put your hands up. Now the Nova Scotia schooners and the men who ran the rum are not much more than stories now that days of glory are done. Bootleg men and sailors are ghosts that come and go. When the fog rolls in on Lunenburg, you'll hear them sing below. And the Vixies, they were rolling, we loaded down with rum. With the schooner I'm Alone, out of Lunenburg we come. We'll sail your fastest gunboat, so catch us if you can. With the devil in our corner, running rum to Louisiana, rum to Louisiana, rum to Louisiana. Thank you guys, we are Tallymoore. Please give a big round of applause to Blarney.
Hello. We're We Banjo 3 and we are here in Galway. We would much rather if we were in Milwaukee, but unfortunately this year we just can't travel and we are missing you loads.
Yeah, we hope you have a fantastic festival. We've been looking at the lineup, it looks incredible, and we're having a great deal of FOMO, but we're excited to get back to Milwaukee. We'll be back there in the spring.
And we know that this is a really special year and that there's a commemoration of the wonderful Ed Ward. And Ed was the main reason that we are a band, because we came to Milwaukee in 2012 just for fun, thanks to Ed. And you know, because of that year we ended up with this incredible career. Ed has been a huge part of that. Very kind, very funny man, and our favourite moment of Ed Ward is...
Ed had one of our patented egg shakers. Ed was on stage playing with us, and in a fit of euphoria, Ed underhanded it in like what could be considered one of the best brewer pitches of all time.
Have a wonderful festival, and we will hopefully, we'll see you in spring. We're going to be at the Riverside in March, and we'll be back next year, and we can't wait for it. It's going to be amazing.
There's no place else to go. We all need more kindness in this world. We all need more banjos in this world. We all need more banjos in this world.
And castles.
You can look high or low, but there's no place else to go. We all need more castles in this world.
All right, up next, we have Cherish the Ladies. Give them a round of applause.
How's everybody doing in Milwaukee now? Well, we are beyond honored to be here to celebrate the great man, Ed Ward, because he was everything that embodied the greatness of this festival. Not just Ed, but Chuck. And we got the word that it was going to rain right when this set was happening. And I knew Ed and Chuck were not going to let that happen. So they straightened out. But he was a dear friend. We loved him to death. And he was not just great for Irish music here in Milwaukee, but he was great for Irish music in America. And he propelled the festivals in this country up to the sky and gave everybody something to reach for. So we're so happy. He helped us in our career all the way. He was the great supporter of Irish musicians and traditional Irish musicians, and we love him and we miss him. And he was so proud of his family and so proud of all the volunteers and so proud of what this festival became. So we're honored to be here today. We're going to play a couple tunes in memory of the great Ed Ward. 1, 2, 3, and... very much. And thanks for that great breeze we just got. That felt good. Woohoo! That's coming from all of you. Well, listen, we're going to invite our dear friend, and not only did we go to kindergarten together, right through grammar school, the same St. Barnabas Grammar School in the Bronx, but we also started Cherish the Ladies together, and she's one of the greatest fiddle players on the planet. Please welcome my dear friend, my great, great friend, Eileen Ivers, everybody. While we're at it, Gabriel Donoghue on guitar, on the piano from Galway. Mary Coogan on the guitar from New York. Let's hear for the one and only, what is your name again? Julie Fitzgerald from Canada. Give a big round of applause to Julie. Dylan Foley from New York. Morella Murray all the way from Claddaduff, and I'm Joni Madden from New York. So there you go. Well, for years, myself and Gabe and Eileen had a group in New York. We played gigs and gigs and gigs. Didn't we play a lot of gigs growing up? And we used to play a tune called Loftus Jones, written by the great Turlough O'Carolan back in the 1600s. And it's a tune that the three of us recorded with the Boston Pop Symphony Orchestra. We asked them to come today, but they were busy. But anyway, we're going to do our best job right now to pretend that they're here. Just imagine it. And it goes something like this. A little tune 300 years old for your afternoon pleasure. Thank you. Stay tuned. We got some more music from Miss Ivers.
All right. Milwaukee, how are you guys doing? Thrilled to be here, especially to tribute this amazing man, of course, Ed Ward. We have so many things to share with you real quickly. A lot of groups coming up. But as we know, 40th anniversary of Milwaukee's Great Irish Fest. And I've been blessed to be here through the years, and it's all this amazing man, Ed Ward, founding it in the back of the day, the 4,000 volunteers, incredible, keep it going. And it's just wonderful to be a part of it again. So I'd love to start with a tune with our group here, Universal Roots. It's a tune we wrote called Gratitude Attitude. And I think certainly, especially coming out of the times we were in, for Ed and all the wonderful Ward family and the ones who are carrying on his amazing legacy and tradition. So grateful for live music, so grateful to celebrate our Irish culture together and to be together. God bless, it's so wonderful to see you. Gratitude. very much. Gratitude for Ed. Thank you so much, Ed, for all that you've done, all you've given us to be here today. I'd like to say real quickly the members of our group here, beginning on your right on bass guitar, Mr. Lindsay Horner. Right next to me here on acoustic guitar and also vocals, Mr. Matty Mancuso. On Queens, from Queens, New York, on percussion and also vocals, Mr. Dave Barco. And from the epicenter of all things Irish, epicenter, of course, being Newark, New Jersey, three-time All-Ireland button accordion champion, Buddy Connolly. Love to invite a very special guest out now to join us for this next tune. All the way from Dublin, Ireland, please welcome on vocals, Louise Barry. So one of Ed's favorite bands, and let's see if we have any ABBA fans here. All right. And of course, when we heard that was one of Ed's favorite bands, I had a chat with Sean Ward there, who did an amazing, beautiful job before, a wonderful band, Tallymoore. And he was saying that there would be many road trips, and ABBA would be blasting in the car. And you guys will know this one, I know you will. We were asked to do this classic ABBA song, but we had to do our own little arrangement on it, so hope you guys enjoy the Irish Dancing Queen.
Looking out for a place to go. Ooh, where they play the rap music, getting to sing, you want to do anybody could be that guy. Not young and the music's high. If you play the rap music, everything's fine. And when you get the chance. Sweet, I'm 17.
Louise Barry.
Thank you.
Cara Butler. Trinity Irish Dancers. Ed Ward.
I see you. All right, don't go anywhere. We still have more coming up for the All-Star Musical Tribute Show to our founder, Ed Ward. We're doing a little bit of a changeover here, so just give us a few minutes. But up next, we have a musician who is not only close to Ed Ward, but a close family friend as well, along with his father, Tommy Makem. We're very excited to have him here today with us for this very special show. So please stick around. I know it's raining, but it's not a true, authentic Irish experience without rain, right? All right. So just in a few moments, we will have the wonderful Rory Makem.
Do I just start? Oh, okay. And now for something completely different. I was lucky enough to get up to see Ed just before he died. I went to the house to visit him. Ed was like an uncle to me. Back in 1982 or 1981, Ed and Chuck and their dad decided they wanted to bring in Tommy Makem and Liam Clancy to the festival. And they were all scared to call the house. But Ed was tasked with the job of calling our house, and he got my mother, who was the boss. And he explained his vision for the festival. And my mother fell in love with him immediately. And I think his vision has come to fruition. He was a man and a friend always. We'd ramble round in the hard old days. He never cared if we had no dough. We'd ramble around in the rain and snow. And here's to you, my rambling boy. May all your rambles bring you joy. Try it. And here's to you, my rambling boy. May all your rambles bring you joy. In Milwaukee town, we chanced to stray. We thought we'd try and work one day. The boss says he had room for one. Says my old pal, we'd rather bum. And here's to you, my rambling boy. May all your rambles bring you joy. And here's to you, my rambling boy. May all your rambles bring you joy. Well, late one night in a jungle camp, the weather, it was cold and damp. He got the chills and he got 'em bad. Well, I lost the only friend I had. And here's to you, my rambling boy. May all your rambles bring you joy. Try it. And here's to my May all your rambles bring you joy. Well, he left us here to ramble on. My rambling pal, well, he's dead and gone. If when we die, we go somewhere, well, I bet you $1, he's rambling there. Try it. And here's to you, yes. May all your rambles bring you joy. And here's to you. May all your rambles bring you joy. Again now. And here's to you, my rambling boy. May all your rambles bring you joy. And here's to you, my rambling boy. May all your rambles bring you joy. May all your rambles bring you joy. May all your rambles bring you joy.
One, two.
All right. I think we're good. Well, the rain ain't scaring some of you away, that's for sure. We love it. So back in 1993, a band was formed by the name of Kips Bay Cayley Band. They were making an awful lot of people dance everywhere they went. We have the pleasure of having one of the members here with us. Give it up for Mr. John Whelan.
Thanks, Sean. Sean forgot to tell you that he ended up dancing on stage with Kips Bay Cayley Band when he was 5 years old over on the rock stage. And there's a video on YouTube if you want to check it out. But I'm delighted to be here and remember the great Ed Ward. He's a dear friend of mine. So I'm going to play an air. It might not be appropriate, but there's been a lot of high-speed stuff tonight. So I'm going to play an air in honor of Ed. It's called Lament to Oliver Goldsmith, but I'm going to call it Lament in honor of Ed. And I'll finish up with a reel.
Hello. There's nothing performers like more than singing into a live microphone with an acoustic electric guitar in a rainstorm. I could become a human Christmas tree for your entertainment. Would you listen to yourselves? Yeah. Who's the crispy critter on stage singing? You want to try the guitar? That's perfect. We're done. That's the best sound check you've had all day, isn't it? Yeah, talk about quick. Does this clash? Does it make my hips look big? Wrong answer. It's great to be here to honor Ed Ward, the paterfamilias and the founder of the feast, to quote Charles Dickens. A wonderful man, and I'm truly grateful to him for having me here at the Milwaukee Irish Fest for so many years. It was a delight, and Ed always liked some funny songs and a couple of jokes as well, and that's what I'm going to do here today in his memory. Oh, that's close. Could I just get a hair more of the guitar in the monitor, if you'd be so kind? Here we go. The first one is a song that I wrote not long ago. It's a true story. There are milestones in every lad's growing, like landmarks along life's way. So I took my son out to have his first pint in our local pub 3 blocks away. In our local pub 3 blocks away. Our local pub 3 blocks away. I took my son out to have his first pint in our local pub 3 blocks away. I bought him a Guinness and he took a taste and he spat it right out on the floor. I couldn't let that one just go to waste, so I drank it and wanted some more. I drank it and wanted some more. I drank it and wanted some more. I couldn't let that one just go to waste, so I drank it and wanted some more. Then I bought him a harp. He took a wee drink and spat out that mouthful as well. I couldn't let that one get tossed down the sink, so I drank it, it really was swell. I drank it, it really was swell. I drank it, it really was swell. I couldn't let that one get tossed down the sink, so I drank it, it really was swell. Then I bought him a Smithwick's. He took a sip. Oh, you like Smithwick's, do you? And he spat out that mouthful too. I had to drink it so it wouldn't go bad. What else is a father to do? What else is a father to do? What else is a father to do? I had to drink it so it wouldn't go bad. What else is a father to do? Well, I thought he'd like whiskey, so I bought him a Bushmills. He tried a wee drop and he spat. I knocked it back, licked my lips and I smiled, and I wondered what he thought of that. I wondered what he thought of that. I wondered what he thought of that. I knocked it back, licked my lips and I smiled, and I wondered what he thought of that. When he turned down a Jameson's 18-year-old, I wondered, can this be my son? I had to drink it to set an example and show the lad just how it's done. And show the lad just how it's done. And show the lad just how it's done. I had to drink it to set an example and show the lad just how it's done. By the time I figured he didn't like whiskey or beer with a nice head of foam, I was so drunk that I was unable to push his stroller back home. To push his stroller back home. To push his stroller back home. I was so drunk that I was unable to push his stroller back home. Thank you. And Ed was a great man for the jokes, too. And I live in Annapolis, Maryland. It's the state capital of Maryland, formerly the capital of the United States during the Revolutionary War. And we have some marvelous restaurants in Annapolis. We got French, Italian, Chinese. We even have a 4-star Irish restaurant, believe it or not. One of the main things on the menu is an Irish 7-course meal, a 6-pack and a potato. Truly enjoyable. My wife and I were downtown last week, and we walked past this lovely upscale restaurant, and a beautiful aroma came wafting out the front door right up under my wife's nostrils. She took a big, deep inhale. She said, "Oh, that smells heavenly." And I figured, what the heck, I'll treat her. So I turned around and walked her past the front door again. Anyway, we went in and we ordered a bottle of wine. My wife was sipping at the wine. She said, "I love you." I said, "Is that you or the wine talking?" She said, "It's me talking to the wine." There was a lady sitting right across from us getting hammered, firing back cocktails like they were going out of style, one after the other, Manhattans, martinis, cosmopolitans. As we say in Ireland, she was drinking like a man with no elbow. My wife said, "Do you see the way that woman's drinking?" I said, "I do." She said, "Do you know her?" I said, "Well, actually, she was my old high school sweetheart. And when we broke up, she took to the drink, and she's been that way ever since." And my wife says, "My God, how can one person celebrate for so long?" The waitress came over to take our order. I said, "I'd like a quickie, please." Well, she gave me the dirtiest look imaginable. She turned round on her heel and she stalked off in a huff. And my wife slapped me up in the back of the head. She said, "It's pronounced quiche." Got in trouble at the bar there, too. 3 rather large, hefty women speaking with a distinct Celtic accent. I said, "Excuse me, are you 3 ladies from Scotland?" They said, "Wales, you idiot, Wales." I said, "Okay, are you 3 Wales from Scotland?" Murphy and O'Brien walking down the street. There's a severed head lying in the gutter. Murphy bends down and he picks it up. He says, "My God, that looks like Casey." O'Brien said, "No, Casey's not that tall." They keep on walking down the street. They find 3 hand grenades. Murphy says, "We better pick these up and turn them in at the police station." So they pick them up, put them in their pockets, and they're walking along. O'Brien said, "Suppose one of these things goes off." Murphy said, "Well, tell them we just found 2. You're making me work for it, aren't you? Murphy, O'Brien, and Casey in the pub talking about the words they would like to hear spoken over their coffins at their wakes. Casey said, "I would like to hear them say he was a wonderful family man, always supported his wife and children. They never wanted for anything." O'Brien said, "That's lovely. I'd like to hear them say he was a wonderful community man, undertook a lot of projects to make his community a better place to live." Murphy said, "That's lovely. I'd like to hear them say, look, he's moving." Okay, I'm getting there. I'm slowly chipping away at you. So Murphy is about to go on vacation to Spain. He's really worried, doesn't know how to speak the language. So he's in the pub and he says to O'Brien, "I'm going on vacation to Spain next week. I don't know how I'll communicate." O'Brien said, "It's really easy. When you get to Spain, just speak slowly. They'll understand everything." So Murphy flies to Spain, checks into the hotel, goes down into the bar, sitting at a table, and the waiter came over. Murphy said, "I'd like a beer, please." And the waiter went away and got it, brought it back. Murphy said, "Thank you." The waiter said, "You're welcome. Where are you from?" Murphy said, "I'm from Ireland." And the waiter said, "Really? I'm from Ireland too." Murphy said, "Then why are we speaking Spanish?" Okay, that's it. You're not getting any more. I'm done for the day. Thank you all very much indeed. And a round of applause for our founder, for Ed Ward. Thank you.
Hey there, Milwaukee Irish Fest. It's Shane Hennessy here, coming to you from Carlow in Ireland. I'm so sorry I can't be at the festival in person this year due to the ongoing travel restrictions, but I am delighted that I'm able to join you here virtually for this tribute to Ed Ward. Ed was a person who showed a huge amount of kindness to me as a performer and as a person, and I have great memories of the time that I got to spend with Ed before he passed away. And I know that he is very sorely missed by all of his family and friends and the larger Irish American community around Milwaukee, and of course all over the United States as well. I heard that Ed was a huge Mary Poppins fan, and I heard that he used to sing all of the songs from the original Mary Poppins film. So I thought I might arrange a couple of Mary Poppins songs from that film for the acoustic guitar as a little tribute to Ed. So I hope you enjoy this. I'll see you next year in person, and until then, stay safe and enjoy the music.
leader. I'm so glad you got dressed up for the occasion.
Yeah.
He looks like a hobbit.
He's our sex symbol.
He is?
Oh, yeah, it's a symbol thing.
All right, then.
So, look, let me just say one word about Ed. So, we call Ed, still to this day, we call him Santa Claus because we consider coming to Milwaukee Irish Festival like Christmas for us. It has been the single greatest thing that's probably ever happened to us. Forget that stupid Titanic movie. Ed Ward had faith that we would be an entertaining band and that we would put, people in his venues to enjoy this whole amazing event. And he had faith in us when nobody else was really they were just sort of dismissing us as a band from the movie, right? And Ed was like, no. You guys are going to come here and play. We played, the very first show we played was the Tipperary stage, which is now a permanent stage, but back then it was a tent. Who was there? Anybody there at that? Yeah. So you know how many years ago that was? And I'll tell you this, they took us over there in a golf cart, and we had no idea of the scale of this festival, right? Because we were a pub band. We were used to, playing to 50, 60 people a night, and Pat looked through the curtains, and then he pushed past me, and he ran over to a corner of the grass, and he threw up. And Ed was there, and he's like, out you go do your thing. And of course, as we say, the rest is history. But Ed was the guy, okay? Ed was the guy that had faith in us, as he has done with so many other bands. And I'm not sure we would be kind of the band we are without him, so.
No, we wouldn't. We actually said to Ed Ward, 2 years ago, we were back there in the office. He came out of the hospital, and he said to me, Patrick, what's the most important thing in life? And I said, money. And he went, what? I said, Ed, I'm joking. I said, family. Family is the most important thing in life. And Ed Ward said, good man, Pat Murphy, you got it. And ever since we came here, the Ward family, not only the Ward family, the Milwaukee Irish Festival has literally treated us like family. It is a pleasure, it is an honor to come here every year, and the nicest people on the entire planet are sitting over there on that couch, the Ward family, making us feel like family. Yeah. So we're going to sing a song. It's and of course, coming here, you meet. We used to meet the Clancy, Liam Clancy and Tommy Makem. So we took an old Clancy Makem song, "The Beggar Man," and we stuck our own chorus into it. And we've had a fantastic time here. God bless. Oh, I'm so sad. The song is called "The Beggar Man," and the chorus. If you know the chorus, join in. All right. Thank you, guys. I'm a little beggar man, a beggar man, a little beggar man, a beggar man, I'm a little beggar man, a beggar man, a little beggar man, a beggar man, I'm a little beggar man, a beggar man, a little beggar man, a beggar man. I'm a little beggar man. Well, I'm a little beggar man, a beggar now you've been over 3 score or more on this little lot of green, and I know him for the leaf from the base of the zoo, and I know him by the name of Old Johnny Blue. All the truth is going and the begging is the best, and for when a man is tired, he'll sit down and rest. Beg for his dinner, he is not so to do, and he comes around the corner with his old beggar do. Well, I met a little flex here, the girl one day. Well, come on, a little flex here, the girl, let us say. Well, come on, a little beggar man, and how do you do? With the rags and your bags and your old rigadoo. Buy a pair of legs and a collar and a tie, and a nice young lady will fetch by and by. Buy a pair of goggles and a color to my blue, and a no official lady I will make up do. Everyone out! I got the sky, I got the road, I got the sky. The world is my home, the world is my home. I'm a little beggar man, I'm a beggar man, little beggar man, I'm a beggar man, I'm a little beggar man, I'm a beggar man. Stepped way down in the barracuda barn, and I went like a on. I stepped to the dawn with the holes in the shoes, and I ran through the room. The rats and the cats, they were playing peekaboo. Who should have been but the women in the house?
with the white spotty apron and the calico blouse. She began to fright and I said, boo, don't be afraid, man, it's Johnny, Johnny do. Diddle 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 dum. Diddle 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 dum. 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 Diddle 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 dum. I got the sky. I got the road. I got the sky. The world is my own packing my back, over the fields, great heavy sack, rolls in my shoes, toes with the juice, for the whole Johnny do. Must be on a bend for the getting lit tonight, when the fire's all raked, and no goes the light. Now you're for the story of me, all we can do. I got me with you from old Johnny do. I got the sky, I got the road, I got the sky. The world is my home, the world is my home. I got the sky. I got the road, I got the sky, the world is my home, over to you, I got, sing it for Ed, I got the sky, the world is my home, come on now, I got the sky, I got the road, I got the sky. The world is my Are you ready? Well, it must be on the bed for this getting lit tonight. When the fire's all around, till no goes the light. So know you're from the story of me, all we can do. And I got it with you from old Johnny do. Thank you. Edward, what a man. All right, thank you so much. God bless you.
We've got one song left for you for the All-Star Musical Tribute Show to our founder, Ed Ward. If you guys stuck with us from the beginning of the show, thank you so much for bearing through the rain with us, and we hope you are having a great time here at Milwaukee Irish Fest. This last song is going to be a farewell song. It was one of Ed's favorite Irish folk songs. And we're going to bring the immediate family out as well to sing along. You may have noticed as well throughout the entire show, many of the musicians were wearing Hawaiian shirts. If you were ever on the grounds, and if you were to ever see Ed around, more than likely you were going to see him wearing a Hawaiian shirt. It was one of the many things that Ed loved, wearing those. He's got a whole closet full of them. So we're thankful that all these people were willing to pay tribute, not only through the music, but through the Hawaiian shirts as well, just to kind of make things a little bit more fun. So we're going to have Rory Makem up with us, as well as the rest of the family. And if you guys know the words, please sing along. The song is called Farewell to Carlingford. And thank you so much for coming today for the show. At the end of this, we have one more video to show you on the screen. It's just a little video of Ed talking about what it means in life, and that is mostly to just live life as happy as possible. So So please make sure you tune into the video at the end to hear his lovely words. And thank you so much.
Now when I was young and in my prime, I could wander wild and free. There was always the longing in my mind to follow the call of the sea. So I'll sing farewell to Carlingford and farewell to Green Oar, and I'll think of you both day and night until I return once more, until I return once more. On all the stormy seven seas I have sailed before the mast, and on every voyage I ever made I swore it would be my last. But I'll sing farewell to Carlingford and farewell to Green Oar, and I'll think of you both day and night until I return once more, until I return once more. Now I had a girl called Mary Doyle, and she lived in Green Oar, and the foremost thought that was in her mind was to keep me safe on shore. So I'll sing farewell to Carlingford and farewell to Green Oar, and I'll think of you both day and night until I return once more, until I return once more. Now the landsman's life, it is all his own. He can go or he can stay. But when the sea gets in your blood, when she calls, you must obey. Try it now. So I'll sing farewell and farewell to Green and I'll sing farewell to Carlingford and farewell to Green Oar, and I'll think of you both day and night until I return once more, until I return once more.
Thank you, Milwaukee Irish Fest. To Ed Ward.
Live every day like it's your last, and tap dance to work, and just love life and
do what you love.
Do what you like. Do what you have a passion for.